Yo, what's going on, y'all? What is going on? Y'all let me know how the audio is. I'm trying a different mic today. So y'all give me a heads up and let me know how the audio is. Shout out to, first of all, shout out to all the mod squad working hard right now. I see my internet is bootleg right now. Shout out to the mod squad working late night hours. I see you, Deshauna. Of course, Miss Ray, Kristen, much appreciated. So lovely Nola. Shout out to y'all. Hopefully I didn't miss anybody. If I did, I apologize. But I thought it might be interesting to try something a little bit different today, since I didn't have a guest on the live, and Kimmel was coming back late night. To try the live a little bit later. We might be trying some different things with the live. Shout out and welcome to Mary. Welcome, welcome. Welcome to Patty. Welcome. Welcome to Mark Van Dam. Welcome to H. Payne. Welcome. Welcome, Akila. A couple of things before we get started. Oh, shout out to Tanya. Tanya, I appreciate you. Thank you so much. Thank you, Tanya. Much appreciated. If you guys haven't got a chance to check out my last two videos, and actually let me check what you guys are saying about the audio, making sure the audio is good before I get started. Audio is great, good audio. Okay, sounds good. All right. If you haven't got a chance to check out my last two videos, couple of things I said in there that that are key to today. Number one, Gaston was hilarious. I think Gaston is my favorite character in the history of Disney. And because we all know a Gaston. You know what I mean? We all have a Gaston in our friend group. A lot of you ladies have dated a Gaston. Some of us guys are the Gaston. We have Gastons in our neighborhoods and our HOAs. There's a Gaston at work. There's always a lot of Gastons in the club. The club is full of Gastons. You got Gastons on the golf course. You got Gastons on the basketball court. We all know a Gaston, and it's just so relatable. You know what I mean? And it made him so over the top. I was like, Gaston is hilarious, man. When I was watching Beauty and the Beast as a child, I just wanted to see what Gaston was doing. You know what I mean? I'm like, can we go back to the bar? Can we go back to the bar, please? Gaston was my man's. That's one thing. The second thing I wanted to say, and welcome Anonymous on your first live. Welcome. The second thing I wanted to say, we getting Teresa. All right. I appreciate that. The other thing I wanted to say, which I put in my second video, is that your boy lives in DC. One guess who has the ABC local affiliate for DC? That would be Sinclair. So your boy had the idea to do a whole watch party, and I can't even watch. I can't. Oh, that's like inviting everybody over for the pay-per-view, and you ain't got it. You just take it. Everybody come over, you like, all right, so we're going to put our money together. And because I ain't got a chance. I was busy this week. I ain't get a chance to call. So we want to go ahead and do. So I thought maybe Hulu might have the hookup. So I went and set up my Hulu because I never watched Hulu because I can't deal with the commercials. So we got the bundle because I had ESPN and my kids wanted Disney Plus. So Hulu just came with the bundle. It's never been watched. Okay. So I decided to just set up Hulu, and I don't have, apparently you need Hulu with live. I didn't realize I didn't have Hulu with live. So that being said, shout out to Little Lou. It has been a minute. Welcome back, Little Lou. We missed you. So there might be a plug somewhere that pops up. I got my people looking for a plug. So I'm looking for a plug. Okay. If I don't find a plug, then y'all just gonna have to tell me what happened. Like on the chat, y'all just gonna have to tell me what happened on the chat. Another thing I wanted to talk about too, real quick. I'm just gonna put this out there, and if you guys have a plug, hit me up. Let me know. I was talking to my wife on the way to do this. We were just watching some stories on Instagram. That's my love language. My love language is memes. So if you want to get into my heart, then it's just memes. You know what I mean? So that's what I do. By the way, there's a meme of Morgan Freeman and driving Miss Daisy, trying to pick up Miss Daisy while blowing out the speakers playing R&B. That's like the funniest thing I've seen in 2025. I've been trying to get it into a video, but I really think it needs wider distribution. So you're going to probably see it in my next video ending. So just be on the lookout for that in the next video ending. Speaking of which, unfortunately, due to some daycare, I've ranted about daycare many times before. It actually has been a minute. Reese Room says Kimmel has a YouTube channel. Yeah, but I doubt they're going to be streaming it live. I mean, I guess it's a possibility, but I doubt they're going to be streaming it live. So, you know, I might have it after the fact. I wanted to do a live watch party. I know I'll have it the next day. I mean, I'll probably have it like right afterwards, but I wanted to do a watch party. So, you know, she said, watch on YouTube for free. It normally uploads to 3 hours before it airs at 11. Oh, Pacific time. Oh, late. Yeah. Like 2:30 in the morning. Yeah. We can't do that. In any event, here we are. I was talking to my wife on the way down here, and I was showing her a meme. It was Milli Vanilli performing, and it said, "I miss when this was the biggest, American scandal that we had to discuss." And before I could click next to go to the next meme, hold on, man. I'm still a little sensitive about it. I'll be honest, because it just happened. Before I could click over to the next meme, my wife, she pointed to Milli Vanilli, and she said, "Who's that?" I said, "Come again?" She pointed to Milli Vanilli, and she said, "Who are they?" I don't know if I could do it. I don't know if I could do what I got myself into. I mean, I'm like a decade in, but I didn't know. Not Milli Vanilli. Not Milli Vanilli. I explained to her just how outlandish it is that she would not know who. Is she Asian? What? They didn't hit in Asia? She's a bit younger than me. She is a bit younger than me. She's a bit younger than me. Yeah, we do. We got the. I got like a good 8 years on her, but still. I explained to her how wild it was that she didn't know who Milli Vanilli was. And when I told her about the fact that they weren't actually singing and they got exposed, she said, well, okay then. Well, it's not my fault. I don't know who they are. They weren't even singing. I said, that made it even that's why everybody know Milli Vanilli. It's been a lot of 1-2 punches. But only one Milli Vanilli. I can't even. Nancy Girl says she got the CD. Hey, you might be entitled to compensation. Nancy, you might be entitled to compensation if you got the CD. Due to some daycare sent us home with hand, foot, and mouth disease. The very creatively titled hand, foot, and mouth disease. So I was unable to get to the barbershop this week. So it's going to be a lot of night shoots. It's going to be, if you notice, when I'm crispy, I like to shoot during the daytime. Like, you know what I mean? When I'm crispy, I like to shoot during the daytime. But as the week goes on, then I find the night, you know what I mean? The night really fills in some of the gaps. You know, nighttime really provides a lot of what I'm missing up top. That's what I find. So given that I haven't been able to go to the barbershop, it's going to be a lot of night shoots. Just know that. Just know that. And I have to figure out a way. Maybe I'll wear a hat. Because typically I record the new ending on Mondays, but I ain't record it because I was looking shabby. And it's Wednesday now. Like it's about to be Wednesday. I gotta record it. So I might wear a hat. If you see me with a knit hat on indoors in September, talking about thank you for watching the content, you know what happened. You know, I'm just putting it out there. You're fine. Stop worrying about your hair. We're here for the message. I know, but it be hurting my feelings sometimes when I see it. You know, it be hurting my feelings. I'm telling you, it's sometimes I look back at some of my old lives back in the day. You could have told me I shot that in 76. You know what I mean? It looked like I shot that when Milli Vanilli was still on the charts. That's how that looked. That's how fuzzy I was looking up top. So, you know. What about the CBS app? Oh, the ABC app is Hulu, right? Hulu is the ABC app. So, right? I don't think ABC has a separate app. Thank you, RS Ellis. I appreciate it. And shout out to Chef Ronnie. Thank you. Cotty Dodd. Thank you. If you were a recipient of Cotty Dodd's gift, send her some love. Silence Assassin, you are the best. Thank you so much, Silence Assassin. I very much appreciate you. Milli Vanilli, girl. It was Blame It on the Rain and Girl, You Know It's True. Well, no, I'm singing the other song to the beat of Blame It on the Rain. Hold on. Girl, You Know It's True. Crap. How did Girl, You Know It's True? How did Girl, You Know It's True go? Girl, you know. What? Milli Vanilli.
So what are you doing back?
Well, I sat back and thought about
It's true. Oh, they had 3 joints. I'm gonna miss you. Oh my gosh. No, I'm gonna miss you off the board. That song is trash. No. Blame It on the Rain and Girl You Know It's True. Why does Spotify, another problematic company, but I'm circling back around to that. Why does Spotify, so when you play songs on Spotify, those of you who have it, they play these little videos. Of the people singing. Why would the video on Spotify of Milli Vanilli have them singing? You know what I mean? Like, why? We know that's not how that was done. Why would they be singing in the Spotify video? And they do put it on a loop. It'd be a 5-second loop. And my kids sit there and they can watch it for hours. They will sit like they'll sit there and watch it for hours like it's not a 5-second loop. But why would the Milli Vanilli video have them singing? They just should be in the back. They should just be in the they should just be in the back chilling while somebody else is singing. Oh my gosh. Shout out to Rob and Fab. I know we lost one. And actually I wasn't intending to bring this up, but rest in peace to Rudy Johnson, former Cincinnati Bengal. Those of you that are football fans, it is quite a shame when I'm getting old enough to lose athletes that I remember in their prime. But I am of that age. So shout out to him and his family. All right. Let's have a conversation. Full disclosure. Y'all see that, did I turn around too far? Okay, no. Y'all see that Emmy back there? That Emmy back there is from when I was a news anchor. Before I started doing YouTube full time. And I work for Tegna. Currently in the process of trying to finalize a merger with Nexstar, which is part of this conversation. While I was working with Tegna, you learn about local news, right? And you learn about conglomerates and affiliates and how all of this stuff works. I got a whole education in local news that I was unaware of. Now, I will tell you this. When I was with Tegna, whatever level you would put at my honesty and authenticity here on YouTube, whatever number you want to put that at, I'm not going to put it at a number, but whatever number you put that at, I was free to do that at Tegna. They let me say what I wanted to say for the most part. I was not there during the time that they were being purchased. I had left by then. So it wasn't Nexstar. I never had any relationship with Nexstar, or I don't know how they operate. I don't know anything about Nexstar. I only know Tegna. Okay. So in the process of me kind of understanding the local news landscape, I became aware of Sinclair. Hey, I keep hitting my coffee. In the process of learning the local news landscape, I became aware of Sinclair and their conservative leanings. It's something that's known in the industry how conservative Sinclair is and the ways in which they bend their coverage to echo a conservative message. That bothered me deeply. Deeply, that bothered me because I find one of the most insidious aspects of the media wars are the parts that go unseen. Because I don't think that people have any indication that even when they turn on local news, that they could be entering a partisan echo chamber. I think people know that when they go to cable news. I think when you turn on Fox News, well, at least when I turn on Fox News, I know what it is. When I turn on MSNBC, I know what it is. When I turn on CNN, they could go any different way. But I feel like when you turn on local news, most people feel like they're just getting information and they're actually getting it through a conservative lens. And it bothered me deeply, but there wasn't a damn thing I could do because I work at Tegna. So calling out another station across town, you just don't do that. So I didn't have the ability to do that. Well, when I left Tegna and I came to YouTube, well, now I do have the ability to do that. And in fact, I don't know if Regina's here. In fact, I have asked her to prepare a Sinclair video like 3 different times that I was going to go all in on Sinclair. But it wasn't really relevant to anything. It's just something that I wanted to do because I felt like people needed to know. I felt like people needed to be aware because it troubled me. Exactly right, Dawn. Because it troubled me, I felt like people needed to be aware. But as I've said a litany of times, you name the window in which this administration gives you time to just talk about some old shit. You know what I mean? Like, what's the window where they just let you go and like it just kept getting put on the back burner, put on the back burner, put on the back burner. So that's why when Sinclair found this opportunity to pile on Jimmy Kimmel, I said in that first Kimmel video, I said, well, one of the good things is that Sinclair has outed themselves. Now more people know exactly what it is when it comes to Sinclair. And that's a very good thing. That's a very good thing that they outed themselves. Okay? So in the process of making yesterday's video, I got to thinking. I said, it's a little foul that Disney is taking all of the incoming. Disney's taking all of the incoming. That's why in that video, I talked about how whatever smoke you have for Disney, you should have at least as much for Sinclair. And you know what? I should put Nexstar in there as well. That's my bad. Nexstar absolutely belongs alongside Sinclair. Now, they're a little bit different in the standpoint that Nexstar appears to be self-interested in that they want their merger to go through. Sinclair, on the other hand, is really about that MAGA life. They are just about that MAGA life. That's why they talking about a donation to Turning Point USA and this, that, and the other thing. Sinclair is really about that MAGA life. Whatever smoke you have for Disney, you should have at least as much for Nexstar and Sinclair. I wanted to make that point yesterday when I recorded yesterday's video. But here's the thing, because I had to edit yesterday's video because that's what happens when you make them late at night. So I edited yesterday's video. So follow me on this one, though. Follow me on this one. I don't think I went far enough because as I'm editing that video, I'm thinking to myself, because, you know, obviously as somebody that not only watched Disney, has enjoyed Disney, has kids that watch Disney, and generally see Disney as a generally progressive force in our media, right? Fighting the battles to have a black mermaid and all that kind of stuff. Now, as far as this situation with Jimmy Kimmel, Disney absolutely deserves criticism, and there's a reason why people have reacted the way that they have. But bear with me here, though. What a chess move on behalf of the right wingers that Nexstar and Sinclair can erode the financial foundation of Jimmy Kimmel's show, presenting Disney with a trick bag. Disney capitulates and they get all the smoke. Disney gets all of the smoke. Remember, in the first video that I posted about this, I talked about how I mocked Disney because of the MAGAs clowning liberals for boycotting Disney. I said, oh, well, you just thought that the MAGAs was just going to ride with you and this, that, and the other thing. Look, the MAGAs hate Disney because you forced them to look at brown faces. You forced them to acknowledge gay people. You forced them to acknowledge brown people and single mothers and stuff like they hate that you confront them with other aspects of America. But what a freaking genius move for the affiliates, the self-interested one in Nexstar. I don't know exactly what what their politics are. It's not particularly, I mean, it is important, but I'm not going to read what they did into their politics necessarily. Sinclair, we know what their politics are, but the fact that they can engineer all of this and have progressives and liberals pissed at Disney, which, by the way, if you look at the entirety of our media landscape, what is safe in our media landscape right now? What is, if you consider Disney, wherever you consider Disney, right? In the left-right consortium, wherever you consider Disney, what's left of Disney? What, NPR and PBS and MSNBC? What's left of Disney? How about we go to digital outlets? Amazon, Facebook, Instagram, TikTok. What is left of Disney? So Disney gets a whole boycott for pulling Jimmy Kimmel, but TikTok, Instagram, X, Nexstar, Sinclair, Fox get to be openly and hardcore right with no smoke. No smoke. You know what I saw today? It blew my mind. I thought that I couldn't be shocked by X anymore. I thought I couldn't be shocked. I have to go on X periodically in making my videos, right? And making my content because I use a lot of tweets and stuff. So I have to end up on X. And inevitably, my eye will go to the margin and I'll see what's trending. And I'll it's like it's 6 degrees of 6 degrees of Kevin Bacon, or is it 7 degrees of Kevin Bacon? Have they taken one away yet? When you go on X, it's like 6 degrees of racism. It's like 6 degrees. I got 6 moves I can make before I see something that disgusts me to a degree where I gotta close the tab. You got 6 moves max. You might do it in 3. You might do it in 3. If a black person is trending for something, as what happened today with Kamala Harris, you might do it in 3. It might not take you 6. So this was crazy, right? So I'm on X and I saw, you know how they have their little news headlines, right? I saw one of their news headlines was about Kamala Harris and her book tour that she's giving. Then her talking about Pete Buttigieg and all that, right? So they had a news headline all about that. I didn't know. It was like the first thing in the morning, first time I saw it. So I clicked on it. That's my bad. That's my bad. That's my bad, apparently. I clicked on it. And do you know that the article, if you want to call it an article, the little kind of section that's called a news headline on X is filled with right-wing trolls attacking and mocking Kamala Harris. The news headline on X about Kamala Harris's book is a collection of right-wing trolls, people whose names and handles I recognize because they have prompted me to have to close the tab before. The kind of people retweeting Laura Loomer when she gets overtly racist again. You know, the kinds of people that regularly pop up in Racist of the Week. Those people, their thoughts on Kamala Harris were collected under the news headline on X. That is the degree in which we have normalized this far-right lens through which so many of these outlets process everything. Everything. If you ask me what Mark Zuckerberg did and deciding to capitulate to Trump when he took office, and saying that he's going to eliminate moderation and move headquarters to Texas and not California. You know, Texas, the state that just went and mid-decade gerrymandered so that they could eliminate Democratic seats. You know, that bastion of bipartisanship that is Texas. When he said that he was going to leave California for Texas to eliminate the perception of impropriety, is that not many steps beyond suspending Jimmy Kimmel because your affiliates are wilding and trying to cozy up to Trump? That's way worse. Now, granted, Meta got smoke at the time, but I don't think it made its way to a whole boycott like we got going on for Disney. And don't get me wrong, I'm not here to cape for Disney in any capacity. I just want us to keep our energy and our outrage and our action. We want to take action against some. I want it to be focused. And I go back to the question that I asked previously. Who's left of Disney? So I want to record my my think pieces on my Disney boycott and upload them on Instagram and TikTok, which is getting pawned off on Trump sycophants as well. Do you know the number of times that I'm putting a video together and I can't see a TikTok because it says you have to be logged into your account. You can't watch this. You have to be logged into your account, and I log into my account, and it's just some basic criticism of the administration. I think that, and you know, and I will also mention this because I'm in my Libra season. So that means that I look at, no, it don't mean it got to be fair and balanced. You just call it like it is. What I'm saying in my Libra season, there's two sides to everything. So in the same ways that I can call out how wildly unbalanced this fury and energy for Disney is, I also have to lament the fact that there are so few outlets that you could yell out to be left of Disney and press the Democrats and the left for allowing things to get to this point. Here's another example. I recorded a video yesterday. You guys will see it soon. I recorded a video yesterday about Jasmine Crockett, right? Jasmine Crockett went on Dana Bash's show, and she was pressed on voting against the Charlie Kirk referendum. And her answer was brilliant. She talked about how offended she felt by Charlie Kirk's rhetoric, the fact that she was attacked directly by Charlie Kirk. And she said, what bothers me the most is that amongst those of us who voted against the referendum, there were only 2 Caucasians. That's what bothers me the most. And as it relates to this scenario, when we get into the weight of responsibility that accompanies being a member of a disenfranchised community. In this instance, we're talking about being Black. But it could be, you could be advocating for women. You could be advocating for differently abled people. You could be advocating for mental health. It could be anything, right? When you talk about the added weight of responsibility that comes from being a member of a disenfranchised community, you absolve everybody else from exhibiting any level of empathy or compassion or humanity for their fellow man. Does it bother me that they were Black people, Black reps, that voted for the amendment? Sure it does. But should everybody else who voted for the amendment be let off the hook for not giving a damn about what we had to hear? We just heard in November about people make excuses for not voting for the woman who actually had a plan, you know, for the economy or women in men's sports or whatever the case may be. And one of the things I said at that time was, you don't get to just say I'm voting for this one thing and for this one reason. That comes with the caveat that that was the most important thing to you. That was more important than women feeling safe. That was more important than Black people feeling safe. That was more important than your kids growing up without staggering national debt. That was more important. And that's what needs to be attached to that at all times. Now, that occurred to me in the midst of this conversation with Disney, right? Because Disney is right now being asked to carry the weight of standing up to Trump's authoritarian rule and takeover. But nobody else is. None of the other entities that I have just thrown before you have that responsibility at all. And that is, it's to me, giving all of the reps who voted for the referendum a pass because they were white men is no different than giving all of these media entities a pass as well. For what reason? Because we don't. Well, that's to be expected, I guess. From I don't know. I presume it is because, well, we know what it is when it comes to them. Okay, sure. So they just get to do it for free? Like they just get to do. So the only ones that get criticism are the ones that have been trying to hold you down up to this point. And then you ignore the affiliates? Like, I don't. Anyway, I, in some respects, and I came to this conclusion. And by the way, I will say this to you guys too. and I don't want to go on too much of a tangent about this, but I also used to work for Disney. I worked for ESPN once upon a time, right? I was one of the people that was laid off at ESPN back in 2017. Back in 2017, I was laid off by ESPN. Don't feel bad for me because I had just signed like a 3-year contract and they owed me the money. So I did all right. But so I was not expecting to be, I knew that layoffs were coming, but I wasn't expecting it, right? I got the call that I was laid off from ESPN, which at the time was my dream job. I grew up a sports fan. Y'all see all the jerseys I got. And by the way, I went with the New Jersey Devils because of that. The usual suspects line, the greatest trick the greatest trick the devil ever pulled is to convince the world he didn't exist. That's how you get all this right-wing corporate media that gets to operate without any level of criticism. That's why I went with the New Jersey Devils. In any event, I grew up a sports fan. So working for ESPN was my dream job. I was not expecting a layoff. I received the layoff, the phone call that I was laid off, while I was on the train on the way down to North Carolina for my father's funeral. My father passed. I decided to take the train down because me and my mother used to take train down in the Carolinas all the time. I thought it'd be a great, kind of reminiscent and everything. So I took the train down with my mom and I was on the train and I got the phone call. Can't take no walk, can't smoke no cigarette, can't have a drink, can't do nothing. You just on the train with your mama having just got laid off. So like I said, I don't want to go too far into that, but it probably took a year, maybe, before I could even watch anything Disney. So I'm not coming from a place of being beholden to Disney in any way. Let's just make that clear. The only reason I even brought that up was I'm not coming from a place of being beholden to Disney at all. I just see the evil genius in laying all of this at their feet. Evil genius in laying all of this at their feet. And too much of the time, we get freaking we get out outstrategied. What's the word I'm looking for? We get strategeried around. What's the word I'm looking for? They be doing us bad when it comes to these kinds of schemes far too often. I don't know where the Dems are when it comes to, I don't know what the plan is. You know what I mean? I can't remember what live that was or who I was talking to when I said, if you take away the actual actions and the behavior and the morality of it, it's quite a feat what they're able to pull off just from a communications marketing standpoint. It is quite amazing. What are your perspective thoughts on Stephen A. Smith? I actually was planning on doing a video about Stephen A. and it kind of got pushed to the back burner. So I'll have to collect my thoughts on Stephen A. I'll have them. The Jasmine Crockett video kind of took it over, so I didn't get a chance to do that. Reese, don't be hurt, bro, because you know it's true. I love how my favorite part of the Milli Vanilli discourse is we all quoting the same two songs. Nicole, thank you. I appreciate that. Thank you. Why? Any questions for Tony? Why? Any questions? I don't know if I understand that, Tony. I got the automatic anti-Semitic, but I didn't get this section before. I apologize. Kristen, thank you very much for that. Thank you very much. I appreciate that. Thank you. Where's yours? Aloha. Thank you. I appreciate you for that. Sandy, welcome. Welcome to Sandy. Is it real? Is that a deep cut? Is that one of their was that their comeback song? Is it real? I don't know if I know that one. Wayne, I appreciate you. Solid. I mock the maggots for making Deadpool the wokest character in the MCU billions. Disney definitely got him with that one. I always point that out. Shout out. Yoli. Thank you. I appreciate that. Thank you. Sherry White, thank you. I appreciate you, Sherry. I appreciate you. Tom, welcome. Welcome, Tom. Welcome. Shout out to you. It looks like the show is about to start shortly. So I got to see. Miss Ray, you got to let Miss Ray, did we get a plug of some kind? Do we have anything? For those videos, you know, one of my weaknesses, my memory is amazing and trash at the exact same time. There are some things that I will remember, sports statistics. I will remember people's jokes, stand-up jokes. I will remember word for word for years. Typically, things that happen, like interactions that I have with people, typically I'll remember years for years and years. On the flip side, I don't remember things I do. Like, I don't remember places I go. I know places that I've been, but I can't remember having been there. If I watch a video or look at photos of me somewhere, then it will come back to me. But before that, I don't have any idea. As it relates to this scenario, I can watch a movie tonight. I can watch a movie tonight. And we can talk on Friday, and I'll remember like the general themes of what happened, but that's it. Like, I'll remember like 4 or 5 things that happened, like the most important things that happened, but that's it. I cannot remember to save my life. I swear, I can watch all of the Marvel movies over again, and it will be like for the first time. I saw Infinity War and what was the other one? The one that happened. I can't remember who was in the snap. I got nothing. I got nothing for you. I don't remember who was in the beginning. I don't remember nothing. That's why when I was making my Disney movies, I had to settle with the kids movies. Those I kind of remember a little. Those Endgame. Thank you, Tom. I appreciate you for that. I don't remember who was in. I don't remember that. I don't remember anybody that we lost at the end of Endgame. I'm like a child. You can have a character die, and then the next movie just have them be walking around regular, and I'll be like, oh, word, okay, cool. It's Iron Man. Oh my God. Yes. Who said, are you a goldfish? Pretty much. When it comes to movies, I 1000% am a goldfish. In fact, I finally got around to watching Sinners. I watched it, and then afterwards, I was eating or something, and I was trying to remember how it ended. I forgot. I forgot. I was like, wait, why was he in the coochie sweater? I gotta go watch this end again. I had to go put it back on and watch just the end of it again. And like, oh, okay, all right. Yeah, my memory for movies is trash. And occasionally I'll meet people that are my age, and they'll get excited talking about movies that came out when we was kids. And I remember the movies. I know the culture. Yeah. Oh, you remember the Inkwell? Oh yeah, I remember Inkwell. Yeah, and then they was in the field and they did the whole thing in the field with Jada Pinkett and Aaron Payne, and his butt was ashy, and I was like, yeah, that was crazy. Yeah, that was crazy. I remember that. Yeah, that was wild. That's funny. Dory, yeah, hey, you know what I'm talking about. Dorian, you know what I'm talking about. No, it was the right movie, Shant. It was the right movie. They was in the field, and Alan Payne's butt was ashy. I remember that. Oh, no, it wasn't. No, sorry. No, you're right. That wasn't equal. I'm sorry. That was Jason's lyric. My bad. See, that's how I do. I was wrong, but I was right. That's exactly how I be. Baby Boy. I seen Baby Boy so many times. I remember about Baby Boy 1. Mama. That's all I remember. I remember Mama and Snoop riding by with the ice grill. That's all I remember. And I might not even remember Mama. I might not even remember that if people didn't meme it all the time. So somebody said if you've seen one, you've seen them all. Well, you didn't have to do black movies like that. Okay, here's the reveal. Let me see what's going on ABC on my station. What's on my ABC?
Predators off the street.
If it's news, I'm turning it off as soon as possible because I know how they. Then again, I don't have a Nielsen box, but I don't want them to get no credit. So I'm gonna be Sidney McLaughlin with mine. Miss Ray, you got nothing? All right, they got the longest commercial break ever. They dragging it. They dragging it right now. Don't nobody want to. They put come on, man. A commercial by the Department of Homeland Security talking about sanctuary cities. I told y'all, Sinclair. I told y'all Sinclair. Join the mission with a $50,000 sign-on bonus for ICE, ICE commercial.
Jay Jones has the experience. He's been an assistant attorney general and a state lawmaker.
Jay Jones increased funding for police and cracked down on sex offenders.
Literally every commercial for politicians is increasing funding for police. He's tough on crime. She's weak on crime. She's tough on crime. He's weak on crime. I'm going to lock everybody up. Well, I'm going to lock everybody up and their mama.
Thank you for joining us for this special edition of 7 News on Your Side. We start tonight with a remarkable discovery.
Okay, so they just took me to this bootleg desk of this dude talking about welcome to this special edition of 7 on Your Side. Sinclair, fuck you. Seriously. Fuck you. You deserve it. You deserve it. Y'all know that, man. And this, let me tell you why. Okay, I'm going to Hulu to see if I can find it on Hulu. You know why I have a segment called Street Politics, which, by the way, is the initial, that's like the initial name for my content is Street Politics. That was first, was Street Politics. Because the audience is lit. Oh, Mika, you got Hulu Live? It's news. Yeah, I got news too. Hey, y'all let me know what's going This is rough, man. This is rough. I'm going to tell you, this got to be the worst watch party. This is rough. That's my bad. So I'm going to stay here for all the other people that ain't got it. The reason why I wanted to go with Street Politics is because the myriad of ways in which your basic intelligence is being insulted on a regular basis by the stuff we get from politicians is maddening. Because what should always be centered in this conversation about Jimmy Kimmel is the fact that Trump is running around calling people out for having the unmitigated gall to criticize him. He had a whole True Social post that he had to delete about going after his political enemies. All of this happens against that. I'm supposed to ignore that? I'm supposed to ignore that he has already seeded what this is about? So when you have somebody like Sinclair that decides that they're not going to air Jimmy Kimmel and try and double down on the merits of the suspension in the first place, how am I supposed to take that? Other than the support of the madness that we're hearing from the White House as it relates to free speech. Because one thing that I said about ABC initially was they completely compromised ABC News. Disney's compromised ABC News. Now, what exactly did Sinclair do to their coverage? Because Disney made the decision with Nexstar and Sinclair exerting right-wing pressure. So you tell me how I should receive Sinclair news or Nexstar news should their merger be approved, which it better be. It better be. It better be. Don't tell me you did this to get it rejected. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. That's gonna be a whole who raised y'all. That's gonna be a whole let me find out. Let me find out your merger got rejected. I'm gonna be like Shannon Sharp. Ooh boy. All right. Let me see if I can find something on X. Dun, 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 dun. It would have been nice for them to make this one available publicly. I mean, really. That would have been nice. It was the least you could do. All right. Oh, I got a video. Emotional Kimmel returns with no apology and refuses to bow to MAGA. That's from the Daily Beast. In his opening monologue, Kimmel just said, I want to thank everyone who doesn't like what I say but defends my right to say it. Okay. Oh, he called out Sinclair. Kimmel said that his former employer at a radio station in Seattle called to give him well wishes. He also said the Seattle market is blocked from watching Kimmel since Sinclair owns the ABC station. All right, all right. Oh, you know what? I should have. Let me see. Last video was 6 days ago. Not live right now. Okay, so not on his YouTube channel. Wow. Nexstar and Sinclair are corrupt broadcasters that reject free speech. All right, I'm glad to see they're getting some smoke. Jimmy Kimmel thanked Ben Shapiro and Ted Cruz on air. No Jimmy Kimmel here in North Carolina. You know, I feel a kinship. With those of you. This might be a turning point. Hold up. Because all the people it's just now occurring to them, because I know who my local affiliates are because I worked in local news. But I'd be curious to know how many of y'all even know who your local affiliates are. I know, Gino. I know. Gino, believe me, I know. I was talking to Miss Ray earlier to try and see how we could figure it out. And I was like, bruh, if it was a pay-per-view, I could have got it. You know, if it was a pay-per-view, I could have got it. If it was a basketball game anywhere in America, I could have got it. If it was a Formula One race, if it was college football, I could have got it. But free TV, I can't. I don't. I got nothing. I got nothing. I got nothing. Free TV. Lovely Nola says they were threatening. I'm not. It doesn't surprise me at all. Also true. Also should be brought up in this conversation at all times, for sure. 100% true. Here's a question. Okay, let me land the plane on my thought. Let me find out that this could end up being a turning point where people actually find out who their affiliates are, both in name and in political leaning. Huh? You know? Sinclair could have set this one out. They decided they wanted to out themselves, and now this is what we got. They could have decided to stay low, and now you have people like me connecting to other folks across the country that aren't getting Jimmy Kimmel because Sinclair. Somebody said he's on YouTube. Yeah, I'm on his YouTube page. They haven't posted anything on there. I didn't think they would immediately. I'm on Hulu. It's not supposed to land here until the next day. So yeah, I'm just asked out. I'm just asked out. That's so crazy that we figured out the one thing that we can't find a way. I would have thought that I could have figured it out. I would have thought I would have figured it out because I knew last night that it was Sinclair, but I still plan to do this live as a watch party. At no point did I think I wasn't going to figure it out during the course of the day. TP, Sinclair is a media conglomerate of a bunch of local news stations that operate as affiliates for the national station. So like they might own the ABC channel here in DC. They might own the NBC channel in Jacksonville. They might own the Fox channel in Chicago. They own a bunch of local stations, and they have relationships with the networks to pick up their feed and run the national programming. So that's why, like, you know, the ABC stations are not like all one thing. They're all like, they're split up. Our media world is kind of crazy. If you think, the fact that I just describing that to TP, it sounds, because when I was with Tegna and we would have, corporate events, I would be with people from all over the country, and we were CBS. So we were like the CBS affiliate. So we had a relationship with CBS corporate, but our main relationship was with the rest of Tegna. But they were like, I don't think anybody was Fox, actually. I'm not sure what Fox's deal is, but they were somewhere NBC, somewhere ABC, somewhere CBS. It was completely random. Oh, Sandy said Jimmy's fired up. Okay. Why this remind me of the days of radio? Why does it remind me of the days of radio? With somebody got the radio and we all bought it. He fired up now. What was the thing we used to use? There was something we used to use where something people. All right, what was that? What was that website or app? I can't remember. Where people used to just shoot their screen, and I watched a lot of pay-per-views that way. Apparently, he's going in on Trump. Free trial doesn't matter if Sinclair is the affiliate. He's going in on Trump. Periscope. That's it. Periscope. Yo. Periscope. Whatever happened to Periscope was that jam, boy. Periscope was that jam. I remember Periscope. Those were the days. Nuts and board. I'm in my 4th decade, sir. I'm not on Twitch. I'm 4 deep, dog. I'm 4 deep. Nah. I barely even know what that means, man. He's going in on Trump and the administration. Yeah. That's how. Oh, Ms. Ray said go to TikTok. Okay.
And went in to say if they have.
Okay.
Were you in your seat when Stephen Colbert won the Emmy?
No, I was backstage.
Oh,
I was backstage. I saw it. I was obviously very.
No,
Did
that's
you get to see
old.
it?
I
Oh
got
no,
to see
sorry,
it
that's
because
Jimmy Kimmel live. Jimmy Kimmel. Is there anybody live? Oh yeah, live. Jimmy Kimmel. Okay. Yeah.
Forgave the man who shot her husband. She forgave him. That is an example we should follow.
Do she mean it though?
Jesus.
Stop talking.
There it was. That's it. A selfless act of grace, forgiveness from a grieving widow. That touched me deeply. And
Jimmy, are you crying for real?
he can get emotional.
Oh, it's been 28 minutes.
I hope to do that, not this. So thank you for listening, and I will more to say when we come back. Oh, we love you, Jimmy.
Right.
Oh, okay. All right. It is on it's on YouTube. 28 minutes. Good Lord, that's a long time. Okay. Okay, this is what we're gonna do. Crap. No, now we know. I wish I would have thought of TikTok earlier. I didn't think of that. All right. This is what I'm gonna do. Come on, dog. All right. Well, I was trying to pull it for. I'm still gonna have to pull it, but I obviously can't play it. I was gonna have the audio over there. Come on, man. Okay. Hold up. Remove from the list. All right, all right. Let me see. That is so obnoxious. Maybe it's because I'm live right now that it won't let me pull it. Block Jimmy. What else are they blocking / feeding you? Should we do to the advertisers of Sinclair like we did to Target? Absolutely. Absolutely. Again, Target falls into the Disney category. Maybe not as far into the Disney category. Disney, I think, has been a little bit more progressive, but Target is in the Disney space. You got like whole like Hobby Lobbies and stuff like that out there. Like it gets real wild when you really want to open up the space to brands and how they operate. Sinclair is about that MAGA life. They not looking for no merger. They not looking for no positive press. Nah. They did it because they about that MAGA life. Thank you, A Strick. I appreciate you. A Strick. Emerald, I'm late, Reese. Who's at the pearly gates tonight? That's hilarious. Yo, if you guys like the late night lives, thank you, Dawn. I appreciate you. If you guys like the late night lives, I might try and do this more. Block Jimmy. Who else are they blocking and feeding you? Y'all got to let me know if you like the late night lives, because this has worked well for me tonight. Reese, I'm female and land deep into my 5th decade. LOL, you can do it. Thank you. Thank you, Nuts and Boy. You know, you give me hope. You give me hope. I appreciate you for that. Oh, I don't know why it's not pulling. I'm trying to retrieve it, but it's not letting me do it. All right. Y'all like the late night live? Okay. I'm gonna put a poll up. Let's make sure we put Miss Faye was like, oh, that's hilarious. All right, this is what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna try to figure out a way to pull this, and then I'm gonna put together a response to be up like first thing. So look for that. Look for that response. I'm gonna try to figure out a way to pull this, and then we'll go from there. But in the meantime, thank y'all for rocking with me. Much appreciated. Nuts and Board, SU, Archon, A Strick, Emerald, Sherry, thank you. Dawn, TP, Aquila, Tom, Sherry again, Yoli, my man Todd, Wayne, Sandy, Aloha, Kristen, Tony P, Nicole, Crystal, Nicole again, Chef Ronnie, Aracelis, Cotty Dodd, Silent Assassin, Tanya, Welcome Aquila, H. Payne, Mark, Patty, and Mary. Shout out to all y'all. This has been fun. This has been really fun. Ray, I appreciate it. Say, I'm not in the chat, but I'm always listening. Keep up the good work. Thank you. I appreciate you. All right. Be on the lookout for, I'm going to get this and I'm going to turn around a reaction as soon as I can. So be on the lookout for that first thing in the morning. Shout out to the Mod Squad for moderating at this late hour. I really definitely appreciate you guys. And I'll end as we always do. Soak your feet.